Episode 699. The cigarette fell to the floor. Tao Xuan bent down to pick it up, his fingers moving with a slight awkwardness as he finally placed it on the table. He looked at Ye Shu and smiled.
Quit.
Oh, is that so? I wasn't aware.
Ye Shu said, taking a deep drag himself before slowly exhaling out the window. A moment of silence followed. Tao Xuan glanced around the room, then asked with a smile,
Living here, huh?
Ye Shu nodded.
Living with a beauty like that, aren't you afraid Mu Cheng will get jealous?
Tao Xuan teased with a grin. Ye Shu let out 3 chuckles. Then his smile faded as he looked at Tao Xuan with a serious expression.
Let's get down to business.
Tao Xuan didn't flinch from Ye Shu's gaze, but the smile on his face remained firmly in place.
Come back.
Go where?
Back to excellent era.
Just then, a thud echoed from Chen Guo's bedroom door, as if something had slammed into it. Ye Shu shook his head with a faint smile.
If you want to listen, just come out. Have some spine.
The door slid open. Chen Guo stepped out, her expression a tangled mess of embarrassment and indignation. Ye Shu glanced at Chen Guo, gave a faint smile, then turned back to Tao Xuan to continue their conversation.
What would I do at excellent era?
Coach.
Tao Xuan answered quickly.
Oh, me as the coach? This wasn't part of your plan, was it?
Ye Shu asked. This time, Tao Xuan didn't answer right away. His gaze shifted, settling on the empty coffee table before him, where he picked up the lone cigarette that lay there. Chen Guo stared at Tao Xuan, burning to rush up and shout, "How dare you come back and ask Ye Shu to return?" But in the end, Chen Guo held herself back. She just kept looking from one to the other, as if trying to read something in their faces.
Standing on the sidelines doesn't interest me. I'd rather be on the field.
Ye Shu's sudden words broke the silence, and Tao Xuan's face immediately lit up with a smile again as he quickly looked up.
Coach is only temporary. Once you've been retired a full year, you'll be back in action immediately.
Of course I'll be back immediately.
Tao Xuan understood exactly what Ye Shu meant. No matter where he was, he would always make his comeback. Tao Xuan gave a bitter smile.
Why bother?
Why bother?
Tao Xuan's expression flickered with agitation. Ye Shu's rhetorical question seemed to have struck a nerve. He bai meant, there's no need. But to Tao Xuan, Ye Shu's there's no need seemed to reach far beyond the moment.
We've both watched the league grow to where it is today. We both know the pro scene isn't what it used to be. The success of the top teams promoted the league, and outstanding stars generated the greatest influence. That's what the league's development truly needs. In a match, tactics and coordination are certainly important. They determine who wins or loses. But stars are what really drive ticket sales. You think out of 10,000 viewers, how many can actually understand your fancy tactics? Those mechanically complex coordinated plays, how many people can truly appreciate the technical depth behind them? No, none of that can capture a player's heart. What do players love to watch the most? It's the 1 versus 3 in the arena, the solo carry in the team match. That's what they really eat up. This is what they want to see, what they love to see, what they hope to see, and what they regard as the greatest miracle.
Having said that, Tao Xuan paused, taking note of Ye Shu's expression, and even glanced at Chen Guo beside him before continuing.
Why is Zhou Zikai called the #1 player in glory now? Just because he's handsome? No, what matters more is that his technique is flashy enough, the scenes he creates are spectacular enough. In the eyes of players, flashy means difficulty, and difficulty means high skill. You might call it shallow, but what people love to watch is exactly that, the shallow stuff. Your dragon raises its head, you say you only made it for fun, and its practical value is limited. But so what? Every single fan treats it as your signature move. Its practical value in combat is limited. Does that matter? No, it doesn't. What matters is that it can't be copied. Only you can do it, so it becomes an irreplaceable brilliance. When you don't use it, everyone will assume your skill has dropped. When you pull that off at the All-Star stage, it'll ignite the entire arena. I don't believe you can't see that.
Tao Xuan had completely dropped his smile, his gaze fixed on Ye Shu with burning intensity. Ye Shu, however, just gave a faint smile.
You're right about all that, but none of it is what I want.
What is it that you want?
Victory.
Ye Shu said this while looking directly at Tao Xuan.
You.
Tao Xuan seemed to suddenly lose all his strength. It was a long moment before he spoke again, but now there was a hint of mockery in his tone.
Do you really think you can win back the glory that's already gone?
Let me try again then.
Can't do it.
You're so sure about that?
Ye Shu actually laughed.
Yes.
Let's wait and see.
Good. Let's see about that.
Tao Xuan stood up.
Before that, you'd better make sure your excellent era doesn't get eliminated first.
Chen Guo had finally reached her limit, watching the two sides talk themselves into a dead end, and she cut in. Tao Shen was unimpressed.
Even if Excellent Era gets eliminated, they'll be back in the league within a year. We focus on the future. We don't get tied down by the past. Any obstacle that blocks our path forward will be ruthlessly kicked aside.
Well, you've certainly done well on that front.
Farewell.
No need to see me out.
Tao Xuan strode quickly to the door, pulled it open, then paused. Tao Shun did not turn back. He simply said,
The Alliance can never go back to how it was.
I know, but I'm old now. I can't be bothered to keep going.
You could have had a perfect ending.
Whether my ending is perfect or not is for me to decide.
Tao Xuan, who had been standing in the doorway for a long time, finally turned back around.
For the sake of our years together, I can grant you one last request.
Oh?
Even if you wanted to transfer one autumn leaf.
That's expensive.
Name your price. I won't haggle.
When Tao Shun said that, even Chen Guo was moved, because she knew full well that transferring a character was far harder than transferring a player. A player's market value rises and falls with their form, but a character's value almost never does. It only climbs higher and higher. Because a character is static, as long as someone controls it, it will follow orders perfectly. A character's value can always be utilized to its fullest, but for a player who genuinely wants to transfer, most clubs won't make things too difficult. After all, you can't force a melon to be sweet. This logic applies to people, but not to characters. Player transfers involve a lot of back and forth, with plenty of room to negotiate the transfer fee, but when it comes to character transfers, the buyer always gets fleeced by the seller. So during the transfer period, player movement was always frequent, but character transfers were few and far between. Tao Shan actually promised to let go of one autumn leaf, Excellent Era's ace character, and without putting up any obstacles in the transfer fee, that promise carried no small weight.